Welcome everyone to the Dreambuildrs podcast. This is a brand new episode, a special one, and I've been looking forward to this one for a while because in this episode we'll talk about how you can discover your authentic message to impact the world. And I invited none other than Monique Blokzyl. She's the founder of HeartPowered Business, and she has helped hundreds of entrepreneurs in 36 countries to grow their business to 6-7 figures by turning their message into a solid offer and business structure, so they make a much bigger impact in the world. Monique herself is also an award-winning international speaker, a business mentor, podcaster, and a published author. So Monique, welcome so much to the Dreambuildrs podcast.
Great, and Jochem, as much as you look forward to having me, I was looking forward to be here. Well, I mean, Dreambuilder, what a promising, juicy title, right? We all are out there to build our dreams with our business and with whatever we do in our life. It's great to be with you.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Now, the reason why I've been looking forward to this interview for a while is also because I read your bio, and you told me also last time that you have won twice the Public Speaking Toastmasters competition on an EU level. So that's very, very cool. And you've shared the stages with people like Gary Vaynerchuk and John Kerry. So that is very, very interesting. And obviously you run your own business. And so I would really love to have a discussion with you about, how people can gain that edge to really, speak out and share their authentic message, how they can lift others up in this world. So first of all, I would love to hear a little bit more about your backstory and ultimately why you also believe why it's so important for people to share their message.
Yeah, great. Okay. So, I mean, what is my story? I mean, we can go back to like my childhood days very quickly. Okay. I grew up actually in Eastern Germany. And if you know something about German history, until 89, Germany was separated into countries, and I lived on the eastern part, which was kind of the communist socialism system, right? So, if you know something about that time, there were hardly any entrepreneurs. People were state employed, resources state owned. So becoming an entrepreneur was never really a dream of mine. Still, what's interesting is at the age of 10, and then again 14, and then again 18, I found ways of giving something to people they wanted and make money with it. No one ever taught me, but I always had this entrepreneurial gene inside of me. When I was 18, I even had already people making money for me. Okay. And still, I don't know about you, Jochem, but most people, no matter if they grew up in a free country or in a quite stifled system like the communist system, I know a lot of people dream of building their business, but don't really or they don't even dream about it from when they grow up, because like I grew up with a message: girl, be good at school, okay, get a good job, live a good life. That was the mantra, right? And so that's what a lot of people grew up with. The thing is, I don't know, there was always something inside of me saying, there must be something else. Anyhow, I followed this mantra, and for about 15 years, I worked in big corporates, and I climbed the corporate ladder quite fast, right? And I know that is a dream for a lot of younger people, even still today, right? They dream of first having a solid corporate career, and then maybe later on, they think about building a business. So I did it this way too. At some point, I was a global head of pricing and yield management for one of the biggest logistics companies in the world. I had a great title. I had teams all over the world. I was traveling the world. I drove a shiny company car. I made a really good salary. And some people would say, well, Monique, isn't that amazing? I mean, you made it, right? That's a dream life. Why did you step out of it? And, everyone that I know did step out of their career into building their business. I call this journey like the bridge from job to joy. Okay. But, everyone that does it has some kind of trigger in their life, right? Some people get burned out. Others, whatever, have a kind of, midlife crisis or something. And for me, it was really that one day I was sitting at my desk and I got an email from a friend. And the email said, Monique, our friend Michael just died. And Michael had been a soul friend to me. And he was always someone that would find joy in every single day. And every time I speak about him and about that time back then, I get goosebumps. I'm still, I always feel like he's here with me. But he was 46. He left a 5-year-old child behind. Guess what? Shortly after, my boss died. Age 46, leaving a 5-year-old child behind. And it's like, there's always these questions we ask, like, what do I want in life and so on. But we don't ask these questions seriously until we get this kick in the butt. Yeah. And I got that kick in the butt, not once, but twice. And I'm confident, I thought that this cannot be like arbitrary. There must be some meaning for me in this. And I really started to ask myself, at that time, I was in my late 30s. And I asked myself the question, what if I need to go at the age of 46, leaving, maybe not leaving a child behind, but leaving at the age of 46? And I realized that it was not making billions for corporate. That was not my purpose. At the time, I didn't know what my purpose was, but still, it took me still a year or two that I stayed in the corporate world until I gathered the courage to really step out. And I have to say, I did it in a way that might not be the right way for everyone, but I really took a blunt jump, okay? From one day to the other, I stepped out. I handed in my company car key, wow, my salary check, and I jumped. I just jumped, okay? I had zero idea of what I wanted to do. I had zero clients. I started from scratch. I just knew that what I had until then, I didn't want anymore. And, the only thing I knew is I wanted to know what it takes to build a business. And at the time, I'd been at Toastmasters, I'd won competitions, I'd even been a paid speaker already at the time from a corporate perspective. But I didn't really know what kind of business I wanted to build. So I built a business together with 5 partners. We were all established corporate leaders. Okay, some of them had been running, a little bit of a business before. So the thing is, and I once gave a speech. I don't know if you know the platform, Jochem, the fuck up stage or the fuck up world, or once I gave okay, sorry, F word, right? Okay, all the kids here, okay, so, close their ears. But there's really like a platform where it's called like the fuck up stage or something, and they invite people that have really made massive mistakes in their business and share with the world what these mistakes were. And I gave a speech there about this experience of building my first business, because honestly, it failed big time. So after 1.5 years with my 5 partners, okay, despite we did a couple of cool things together, still I lost 60,000 euros in my first 1.5 years and 1.5 years of my life. And still today, I say it was great because it was like my kindergarten of entrepreneurship, okay? And I learned the 10,000 ways of how not to build a business. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, but again, what then changed it for me? What turned it around was I was connected with a lady. She became my mentor. Okay. I could have easily, at that moment when I decided I had to step out of that initial failure business, I could have easily given up. And every one of you that's with us today and watching this, if you are at the edge or you're going through a tough time, don't give up, okay? All you want to do is find strength and inner fire within you. And how do you do that? By remembering, why did you embark on that journey in the first place? Why did you want to become an entrepreneur? Why did you want to build that business? Hold on to it. Don't give up. Okay, so one great way is of not giving up is finding your inner fire, remembering why you do what you do. But another one is also make sure you have people around you, like the Dreambuildrs platform and networking community. I'm sure there's other people like Jochem and others in that community that will inspire and empower you. We are running the HeartPowered Global Nation. Right? You can check it out on Facebook. It's called HeartPowered Global Nation, where we have a lot of speakers and entrepreneurs from around the world. And if you're not alone on our journey, it's easier to follow through no matter what's happening around us or in our business or in the world, right? A third thing that happened me to not give up was that eventually someone introduced me to a lady in the US who was connected to the who is who of the personal development world. I mean it, okay? So she had friends that had built multi-million-dollar businesses, and she introduced me to these people. So she became my mentor, So all of you want to work with a mentor. You want to find someone like Jochem or myself or someone else that has walked that path successfully. So we can show you step by step of how things need to be done to make it happen. Okay. So again, that's pretty much a little bit of my background story, but my first failure story in my bridge building, right? From job to joy, okay, from being in a job to building my own business. And I can say today, just so that you know, today I work with entrepreneurs from all over the world. I think we had clients so far from around 40 countries, okay? And, again, a number of countries, a number of people grow by day, but, we really help them to kick off their business, bring their business to making a few thousand a month, to making 10,000 a month, to a 6-figure business, to a 7-figure business and beyond. Okay. So that's what we do today. And I work a lot with coaches, trainers, speakers, consultants, everyone that uses the power of their voice and their experience to build a business structure where you make a bigger difference in the world and you touch more lives and you make more money and you impact a lot of lives this way. So that's what I do today. And I'm still a speaker as well. I'm, all over the world speaking. Again, I know how our message, our story, our voice holds the value. Okay. If you turn your message into a business and you grow your business around your message, there is no limitation of how far you can go. You can easily build a 6-7-figure business and beyond. I know how it works. And, again, we have a lot of people that have gone with us through that journey. But Jochem, I'm sure you have a lot of other questions for me to ask, but that's a little bit of my background story.
Thank you so much for sharing your background story. And hearing you speak about it in such a relevant way is very interesting. Also, your passion, I really like that. You said that you left corporate from kind of one to the other day, right? Of course, lots of impactful things happened before. And I would love to know, like you were talking about your why and how is that so important for you to find your why and also to build a business around it. But how did you actually discover your own purpose?
Yeah. So it's been a journey, right? It's a long journey, and it's not like a straightforward thing. Like you do one thing and suddenly okay. So again, but I can give you a couple of. I'm not only going to share what I've done, but I'm also going to share with you a couple of concrete hints of how you can find yours. How does that sound?
Awesome.
Yes.
Let's go.
Great. Okay, great. So again, I believe it all starts with an inner exploration. Okay. And here's a couple of questions I invite you to ask. Okay, the first question is, who are you and who do you want to be? Well, that's the simplest question in the world, right? No, it's not. It's the hardest to answer, right? I mean, some people spend a whole lifetime and even, in their deathbed, they still don't know who they are. Okay, and still ask that question, like, who are you? Well, you might simply say things like, you know what, I am someone that's passionate about, okay, helping other people build their dream, right? Like you do, Jochem. Okay. Or you might say, well, I see myself being a speaker, being on stages, and inspiring others. Or maybe you say, I am someone that loves to help others, right? Or I am someone that, okay, fill the blanks for yourself. Who are you? And I know even though it might be the hardest question to answer, start with it and just see what's coming up as you're asking it, okay? And again, if you feel stuck with that question, there's more questions to ask that give you more clarity, okay? So the next question you can ask is, what do you love doing? What do you enjoy doing? When you do it, you feel like you could do it day in and day out. And even if no one would ever pay you, you could keep doing it all the time because it just gets your inner fire going, okay? But like, for example, for me, I love to be on stages. I love to inspire others. I love to be with Jochem right now, hopefully some of the things I say trigger something inside of you that switches something and brings what you do to a different level. That's what I love. I'm a creator. I love to create businesses out of nothing. I just love to do it, right? Even when I was still in the corporate world, I was helping to build public speaking clubs. So when I moved to Belgium in 2005, the second time, I think we had 4 Toastmaster clubs in Belgium. Okay, when I left about 8 years later, we had 14 or 16 clubs, right? It was not that I built all of them, but I helped build one specifically, and then I helped supported building some of the others too. Okay, so I just realized even, this club today is still flourishing. So creating something out of nothing and then letting go and let it evolve on its own is what I love doing, right? I love to be on stages. I love to connect and network and bring people together. People say I'm a people magnet, right? So again, ask yourself, what do you love doing, right? And again, that gives you some clues of what is your why. I love to do this, okay? And then again, who are the people you love to hang out with, right? Like Jochem, you and I, we love to hang out with people that have a dream. They want to make their dream come true, right? Yeah. Okay. I love to hang out with other speakers, right? Because again, they share with me, like, how do I get onto more stages? They share with me their stage time stories. We learn and grow together, right? I love to hang out with entrepreneurs that do innovative things. Like one of my friends, I can speak to her tomorrow again. She was a pioneer. She took like what we had on the picture platform where you would be able to purchase pictures online. She did that in the world of music. She was a pioneer. She built a platform quite a few years ago where it's now quite a big business, right? It's called Audio Socket, just if you wonder, right? But she built that platform where she could, music pieces that were unreachable for a lot of people, and she helped them to be able to license them for their platform, for their videos and everything else. So I love to hang out with pioneers, right? And entrepreneurs. So again, ask yourself, who do you like to hang out with, right? Again, another thing is also, when you hang out with these people, listen. Okay, I know we all don't like complainers, but you know what? As a business person, I love complainers. Why? They give me a clue of what they need right now, and how can I turn that into my next product or service, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So again, start listening to what are people missing? Like, for example, when I started my business, at the beginning I worked a lot in the startup world. And I realized that a lot of people in the startup world are looking at Silicon Valley because that's where the big money is and the big mentors are and everything else. The thing is, Silicon Valley is only working with businesses that focus on building a technical platform. So all the coaches, speakers, trainers, consultants of this world, I saw they're not getting the support they needed, right? And that's why I built my platform to support these people, because I believe we can build big businesses based on our message too, and we've done it, right? So again, let me summarize the questions you want to ask yourself. Who are you? What do you love doing? Who do you love hanging out with? And what are these people complaining about? And that might give you clues on, what is your mission, right? And also, I did a lot of inner deep dive and inner exploration, and it didn't give me personally, it didn't give me the big breakthrough or clarity. So I started to hire coaches. So for example, I signed up with quite a high price 1-year coaching program. And after quite a few months, my coach asked me a question. And he said, Monique, if you think about what people need and want, okay, and he said, what do you want to do? And I said, I would, and he said, well, if you apply that to yourself, if you turn it around and you apply it to yourself, what would that message be? So he said, okay, he asked me like, who do you want to work with? Or, what do you want to do? And I thought like, okay, I love to help people to build successful businesses. And he said, well, okay, good. So Monique, why don't you apply that sentence to me? And I said, well, I really also want to learn how to build a successful business, and a business that really makes an impact, a bigger impact in the world, and a business where human values are honored, having come out of the corporate world, where people are treated like humans, where we all live our full potential, and all of these kind of things I said. And as I heard myself speaking, that sank in at a deeper level. I realized that what I need and want is what I want to help other people with, right? And, again, once you do that inner exploration and you work with a coach to help you figure that out, like someone like Jochem or others, let me summarize, okay? Here is how you really find your mission. Start stepping away from yourself and start stepping into a mindset of service, okay? And really ask yourself, not only like, who do you like hanging out with? But probably these people are also, the question here is, who do you love to serve? probably the people you love to spend time with is also the people you love to serve most because you care about them, right? Also, the question is then, don't only ask yourself like, what do you love doing, but turn it around into, what can you do for these people based on what they say they need? What are they complaining about that you can help them with? What can you do for them in line with what you love doing, right? And then again, that will give you clues of what is your mission. You know what they need, you know you care about them, you know what you love doing, you know what you could do for them, right? And that gives you clues of what your mission is. And here's the last question that anchors all of this, which is, why do you want to do it? Why do you want to help and support these people getting these results? So again, my why is pretty much like, what is the mantra in our business? Our mantra and slogan is speak up, scale up, impact the world. So we help people find their inner message, find their inner voice, ignite their inner fire, and to get that and spread their message, not only with 10 or 20 people, but with hundreds, thousands, millions. We help them to really get more visible in a greater way. We get them to get booked as speakers all over the world. We help them boost their visibility. We help them to attract clients this way and grow their business. We also help them to scale up. We help them to build a business around what they do, so they have a solid offer. They know exactly what products and services they want to offer, at what prices, to what kind of clients. They build these products and services. They build a solid marketing around it, so they have a constant flow of clients coming to them. And we help them to build a sell with success, right? And then we help them also with their finances and everything else that's needed in business, right? So we help them to scale up. We help them to launch and grow their business in the most successful way. The thing is, the why comes in the last part of our mantra, which is impact the world. Okay? Just one example from our clients. We had this couple and these two sisters that built a fashion business. Okay, one sister is a teacher in Switzerland. The other sister they're both originally from Pakistan. She moved to Switzerland. Now she's a teacher in Switzerland. Her other sister is still in Pakistan. She became the first woman that was hired as a fashion designer, in a big business. She's the first woman in Pakistan getting into this kind of job. These two sisters build a business, and I help them build a business. So they build a fashion business, bring the Eastern and the Western world together in fashion. In their second year, they actually got already onto the London Fashion Week. And as a result of their business success, they built a Montessori school for children, especially girls, in Pakistan. That is why I do what I do. Because our people are not only getting visible and getting the message out there in greater ways, they're not only building successful businesses, they're also supporting, social causes in the greatest way. And that is why I do what I do. Jochem, I'm sure you have something else to also add, contribute, or ask.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing this. And I really liked your practical questions to discover more about yourself. So these 4 or 5 questions actually. I really encourage everybody to have a look at that once again. And once you have done that, I think it's important that you can also go to the next step, because it's important to understand what your purpose is, but it's also important how you then can get your message out and how you actually become a magnet for other people. And mainly, maybe also not only for other people, but also for your business, right? So who you are and how you can attract more clients. So do you have any tips on how people can gain more visibility on their message?
Absolutely. So again, just yesterday, I ran like a webinar where I, shared with people my 5-step speaking blueprint. Okay. And because I've been speaking, in more than 25 countries around the globe, and I shared the stage with amazing people. And I have to say that, especially in the early years of my business, speaking was my greatest marketing tool. And speaking really helped me, and to attract clients, and that helped me year after year after year to double my income for several years in a row. Okay, so getting out there, getting your message out there is the most powerful way. I've also been an investor pitch mentor for quite a few years. So again, I know like how to craft a message in a 2, 3, or 5-minute speech to trigger, investments of 6 figures, like, even $1 million investments. So again, my speaking blueprint, actually there's 5 steps, just to summarize them for you. The first one is you need to feel that fire inside. You need to know why you want to speak. Okay, and that comes from your mission, that comes from your passion for your message and for your business. Okay, the second step is you need to have a crystal clear message. The message pretty much is what you say, Jochem. This is your magnet. This is how you attract clients, how you convince investors, how you find partners, how you actually get onto Jochem's amazing show, right? Okay. So this is, you know, again, your message is what resonates with people, if it resonates with people, okay? So getting your message clear is absolutely crucial and critical. And I always say your message needs to be in line with your mission, right? So again, you know, like, let's just take the formal of an elevator pitch. If you meet someone, like, you know, you stand in the queue, you know, of a bakery, or you know, or somewhere else, and you don't have a lot of time to speak to someone, all you can say to trigger some initial interest is give an elevator pitch. That's why we call it an elevator pitch, because again, it's like an elevator ride. Unless you're in Dubai or, you know, one of the top skyscrapers in the world, you only have a few seconds to bring your message across, right? The good news is, how do you craft your elevator pitch? Again, you can take all the elements that we discovered already in our session today together and bring that into 1 sentence or 2 sentences, okay? So what you can say is, I do what, for whom, so they get these results, okay? You know, and if you want to, you can also say, hey, and this is how we are different, okay? And then you ask the question, would you like to hear more about it? That opens doors, right? In my case, I could say, well, I help amazing entrepreneurs and speakers get their message out there in a greater way. So they spread it to thousands, 100,000s, and millions. They build a business around what they do. So they build a lifestyle-friendly business. They make 6 or 7 figures, and they travel the world, sharing the message and doing what they love doing most. Okay. If that is you and you feel like, oh my God, that's something I want, you will probably want us to connect, right? So again, you know, if you craft your elevator pitch this way or your message this way, you start triggering interest, right? And you know, also when I can also say, how are we doing things differently? Like we say, well, we get you not only to speak in your local environment and nationally, we get you to speak internationally. We help you connect with a global tribe, right? We help you to, you know, to, also we don't only teach you speaking. There's a lot of speaking coaches and business mentors out there. We bring it together. We do both, right? We help you boost your visibility and your speaking and build your business at the same time. That's what makes us different. And, you know, again, so if you're crafting your message, okay, summarize the insights you've gained already from what is your mission, what do you do for him, for what reason, right? And also make sure that your message is emotional, it triggers emotion. It connects with the people you want to connect with, right? So I could speak for days about this, but okay, so the second thing is, again, the first thing is get the fire going. The second thing is, you know, nail your message. The third thing is get clear on who are your ideal clients, what's your best audience. Okay, who are the people that need to hear your message and are willing to pay good money? Number 4 is, what are your best stages? What is your dream stage? Where do you meet these people you want to connect with? And how do you get booked on these stages, right? Step number 5 is you monetize your speaking, okay? You get paid directly by being paid a speaking fee, or you get paid indirectly by crafting products and services that you are promoting as you are out there as a speaker. So again, you know, I mean, this is how you craft your message. And, you know, I hope I gave you a couple of ideas and concrete hints on how you start crafting yours. And I would suggest, again, you know, if you are interested in this, Jochem, would it be okay if I mention our Speaking Booster Challenge that's coming up?
Yes, go for it immediately, yes.
So, you know, if you want to ignite your fire for your business, for your passion, for your speaking, okay, and you want to craft and nail your message to really make it attractive, you want to find out what's your best audience, what's the best stage, how do you get booked, and how do you monetize your speaking, and how do you use the power of your voice to grow your business? Well, we are running actually a 5-day Speaking Booster Challenge is coming up actually, very soon from the 7th to the 11th of June. And I think, Jochem, we're going to share the link, right?
But we'll share the link in the caption.
Great. So every day we're going to do a deep dive into one of these 5 steps. We help you craft your message. We help you get out there more. We help you monetize it. Okay. So that by the end of the week, you have much more clarity. You know what you're doing, what your mission is, what your message is, and you have much more clarity on how to get it out there already now. And how do you make money with it? So again, we're going to run live sessions every day. We give you a little task every day. And again, we are on this journey together, and we're going to run it in our HeartPowered Global Nation so that you have others on your side that help you make it happen, that give you feedback, that you encourage you, and you feel the vibe of our tribe. So I really look forward, everyone that resonates with that, join us from the 7th to the 11th of June. Join us on our 5-day Speaking Booster Challenge. That would be amazing.
Monique, I think I will join your Speaking Booster as well. So everybody who is listening, please, I encourage you to sign up afterwards after hearing this beautiful conversation. You can sign up with the link in the captions below. Now, Monique, before you go, I have another question. And I think this is also an important one, because often when we have shaped our message in a very, let's say, authentic way, like for some people, I can imagine that it can be quite overwhelming to confidently speak out your message. What is your vision about it, and how can people do that confidently? Because sometimes it can be quite overwhelming, like, oh, now I'm going to be in front of an audience of many people. Or what are ways that people can get more comfortable to confidently start sharing their message with people
absolutely.
that they want?
And it takes time. And I can tell you, even from my own story, when I grew up, when I was a little girl, my father said one thing to me that shook me big time. He said, Monique, just become as old as I am, and then you understand how the world works. What I heard in that moment was like, I got it all wrong. What I heard was my voice didn't matter. My opinion didn't matter. I didn't matter. And he kept saying it. And, as I went through life, even sometimes in school or from friends or from bosses or colleagues, sometimes I've picked this up, like I was saying something and I wasn't being heard. And that was hurting. And maybe you've gone through experiences like that in your life where you heard the message like you got it all wrong and you started to doubt what you have to say. So I understand, Jochem, it can be very intimidating, okay? Especially when we've gone through experiences like that in our life. However, good news is I grew through it, I got out of it, and so can you. So how can you do it? First of all, get clear on your message. Even if you're afraid and you think like, oh my God, Monique is scaring me. She's talking about speaking to hundreds or even, even 20 people is scaring to me, right? Like today I had a conversation with one of our clients, and she said, hey, I spoke to the biggest audience ever and it was 20 people. And I thought, great, amazing, congratulations. The thing is, you can start small too. What you do is you just grab 1 or 2 of your friends, either online or when you can get together live again. Okay, if you watch this in the future, you think like, hey, I can meet them live. Bring them into your living room. If you cannot bring them physically into your living room, hook up on Zoom. Take your best friend and say, hey, you know what? I'd like to practice with you. Can I give you this? And you give me a little bit of feedback. Okay. So one of my friends, he's actually a Toastmasters winner of the world's biggest public speaking competition. Toastmasters competition. He's one of the Toastmasters public speaking conference winners, speech contest winners. And he said, Monique, the best speech is not written. It's rewritten and rewritten and rewritten. So the thing is, don't worry. Even if you start out small, start thinking about, take the questions we discussed in our session today, right? And start finding some friends and start in a small way, in a space where you feel comfortable, or, in Jochem's Dreambuildrs community, or in our HeartPowered Global Nation. If you feel like doing it with my friends, oh my God, no, what will they think of me, right? Take someone that you trust from our communities and say, hey, shall we get together and practice a little bit, okay? So start doing it with some people you trust, get feedback, then start going out there in a smaller way. Okay. And then as you go, I mean, you know, I spoke to audiences as little as, I don't know what my smallest audience ever was, maybe 3 or 5 people. My biggest one was 3,500, right? I didn't jump overnight onto that big stage. It took quite a few speeches in between until I got there. The question is, where do you see yourself and where do you want to go? Okay. And just start small and step up, step by step over time. That's my suggestion for you.
Thank you so much, Monique. I couldn't agree more with that message. I think it's especially important that you define what's, you know, where you feel comfortable sharing your message. And it doesn't need to be at stages of what you said, perhaps 3,500, 5,000 people. That can also be in very intimate settings where you can share your brilliance and your power, right?
And let me add one thing here, which is really important for you to understand and maybe also encourages you to step forward with this. You know, I mean, I don't know if you know the mantra or slogan of Starbucks, but they say one coffee, one person, one neighborhood at a time. The same here. It's one person, one community, one nation at a time. So again, you speak to one person, you touch their life, and you never know what that person does with that and flies with it, and again, ignites some others. Like one flame ignites another, ignites 2 others, 4, 8, 16, 32. That's how you spread your message. And you can always trust that there's always someone you speak to that is in this moment needs to hear what you have to say. So it's one person at a time.
Awesome. I think that's a beautiful way to round up this nice conversation. Monique, thank you so much for sharing all these practical, really practical and, you know, hands-on tips that people can use right now in your speaking business, in your business itself, to find your purpose, get your message clear. To round up, what are the best places that people can find you and your work if they love to learn more about you?
Yeah, I know my name is not so easy, but I think you can find my name right below. So my name, and you can even see it here on the screen, hopefully afterwards. Hopefully it's recorded, but Jochem, you're going to share it as well. So my name is Monique Blokzyl. So again, what you can do is just again, find me on LinkedIn, right? You can also check out my website is moniqueblokzyl.com. You know, also, as I said, you know, if you want to get a little bit of taste, and by the way, the 5-day speaking booster challenge, it's free. Okay. We took the last obstacle out for you to really take a courageous step. Come and join us, get to know who I am, get to know how I work, get to know people from our community. And that's the best way of connecting with us, I would say.
All right. Monique, thank you so much for your insights. I'm really grateful for this 45 minutes that we could connect with one another here in this beautiful conversation. And I truly hope that we can meet in person one day. That would be awesome.
Absolutely. And I know that you have the dream to build, and you're already building the center. So as soon as it's up and running, invite me. I'm happy to come over and give you a big hug and get to know you and your amazing community as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.